Grace and peace to you through Jesus Christ, and welcome to this Midweek Devotion from Wayside Presbyterian Church of Erie, Pennsylvania. Let's rest a few moments along the journey of life. So no matter where you find yourself on this journey and in your faith this day, I hope this is a respite for you. And may you know the welcome of Christ's presence and peace. Now, a few people have been studying Paul's letter to the Ephesians, and as we've made our way through this letter, it's abundantly clear that a central theme in this letter is unity. The theme touches on the unity of the church congregation in love and honor and respect for one another, the unity of the individual from the struggles of a confusing and chaotic life, unity within the home, and overall the mission of God to unify heaven and earth in Jesus Christ. Here's a passage, though, where Paul gets down to it from chapter 4, verses 1 to 6. He writes, I, therefore, a prisoner in the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of us all, who is above all and through all and in all. And they didn't have flashing lights back then. So Paul is using a rhetorical flourish to shine the light on his theme, this main theme, and to drive the point home. If you didn't pick up on it, it's like 7 times he says, one. Unity. We're talking about unity here. Still, I'm left with a few questions. Is unity more important than other things? Things like justice and equity and peace and compassion and care for the earth? Can we be in unity when there is division over issues that we view so very differently? I think Paul is realistic about this. He acknowledges major differences. He intimates, though, that our unity is big enough to acknowledge differences and resilient enough, as it says elsewhere in this letter, resilient enough to speak the truth in love. And our unity is important enough to us, as he also says, to be angry, but do not sin, and do not let the sun go down on your anger. Many people find their relationships strengthened as they are able to take down their guard, to become vulnerable, I suppose, and to decide to lead with love, and then carefully and courageously speak their differences to each other, and also to listen attentively and with genuine care to each other, to recognize how they may deeply differ, but choose to remain deeply connected. So I think Paul's point throughout this letter, an important point of it, is that unity is worth struggling for, and making unity a key virtue makes a way for growth in understanding and direction and cooperation that is unavailable except for the commitment to unity. This is what Paul is talking about when he says, I beg you to lead a life worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. I'm convinced that this is an important and crucial witness of the church in our world in this time. Paul prays for it in this letter. He encourages us to pray for it too, and also to work for it. Amen.